fight on, men and women of blue and white, fight on for all your very might. Horseheads high is our battle cry. Fight, horseheads, fight. Keep up the courage to keep goals in sight. Fight, horseheads, fight. For a horizon that is bright. Keep fighting, old, white, and blue. Shall ever walk a path that's straight and true. Raise your hand up to the sky for Horseheads high. With a final score of 42-7, my Horseheads Blue Raiders began their technically they began last week, but they had their home opener against the Norwich Purple Tornadoes, and 42-7. Not much I can really say about that. We crushed them. So I am excited right now, and I get to hold the Blue Hammer Award again. Oh my God, I miss holding on to this thing. Full disclosure, for those of you who don't know, actually, hold on a second. Let me, I'll put this right here. Okay, so, full disclosure, I literally keep this award, barely, to the side of the camera. Literally 5 seconds before I press record, I picked this hammer up off of that post right there, and I just brought it in with me. I just leave it there. I literally left it there since November of last year. Surprisingly, this thing didn't really collect any dust. Odd. So, actually, hold on a second. Let me... Camera for reasons off center. Okay, so let's get into my low, my high, my act of kindness, and then I can get into dishing out to who gets this award, because there's actually several candidates who deserve this award. So foremost, my low is okay. So full disclosure, I'm not going to be able to go to homecoming, because I had my reunion at Trinity Pauling that same weekend, and I absolutely have to go to the reunion at Trinity Pauling, so I'm not going to be able to go. So that was weighing on the back of my mind, but also, and this is so incredibly stupid, every year that stadium's been open, going to a football game was like a free school function for everyone to go. Now, you gotta pay to get in. Yeah, it's only $3, but I really could have used that $3 for something else. So, that's a bit of an inconvenience, and and also, because I'm watching the game with my dad. Normally we leave at halftime, but I kind of did want to stay to watch the game, but unfortunately we accidentally walked out. We walked out of the stadium, and once you walk out of the stadium, you can't go back in. So I was stuck. I mean, listen, we were winning 28-0 at the half. There really wasn't much, unless there's a complete and utter collapse of the team, we're not losing this game. So I'm not really at a loss for wear. But it would have been nice to stay there knowing that this is the last home game I'm going to be able to see until mid-October. Really. Because next week they're at Waverly, which that's fine. I'm heading up to the lake anyway. A week later, that's when I'm at my 15-year reunion at Trinity Pauling. And I'm going to miss homecoming. Which, I'm sorry. September for homecoming, that's just too early. Literally every year I had homecoming at Horseheads, we always had in October. Which, to me, was the perfect sort of foil for, okay, we're a pretty decent chunk of the way into the year. It's already starting to weigh on us. And the one legit good thing that's happened was the fact we had off on Columbus Day. But that was really about it. Having homecoming in October just made more sense And it felt better because, like, that's, like, the first major thing that I was really always looking forward to every year. Like, if you have it too early, like, yeah, we have homecoming. But then you're like, oh, that's it, though. There's nothing else. That's the problem. But for all that aside, you know, I got to give a major shout out to the players and the coaching staff because they really played a great game. I mean, 42-7, my God. I know that state ranking is based off of, like, not only if you win, but how many points you score. Altogether, the Horseheads Blue Raiders have scored, if my math is correct, 101 points. That's got to put them in some kind of ranking. And in both games they played. Granted, next week against Waverly is going to be like a really big test. But I am interested to seeing how it goes. So, yeah, so my low is a combination of several things. The fact that in the back of my mind, I really was thinking, crap, I'm going to miss homecoming. And I didn't stay inside for the rest of the game. But I did, and again, the fact that I gotta pay $3 to get in. I mean, come on. Like, why? We never had to do, like, literally every year that stadium's been open, we didn't need to pay to get in. But it is what it is. Sorry, I'm just, full disclosure. Oh, hold on. They had to stamp me to get in. You can still kind of see it a little bit. You can still kind of see where they stamped me. That's really cool. I just noticed it. But with all that said, I had a lot of fun. And my high is I was just being at the game, being in my home, being in the new Horseheads Stadium. Well, I say new, it's a couple years old now. But, like, being in that stadium, like, it felt good to be home. That's the best word. Like, I'm sure I'm going to be saying this a lot when I'm at Trinity Pauling, but, like, places like Trinity Pauling or Cuba Lake or Horseheads High School, like, you know what? In those regards, like, those all have special places in my heart. So when I'm there, I'm just going to feel like I'm home. And that new stadium, watching a football game, even though it's a couple years old, like, it feels right. It feels absolutely right to be there. That's the most right I've felt since being up at Cuba Lake, actually. So, yeah. For all what I just said earlier, it's still great to be back. So, obviously my high was going to the game. And also, because I went to dinner with my dad after the game, and I was still a little hungry, so I got myself something to eat. I went over to Nick's, and like a whole bunch of people were coming from after the game. And it was awesome. Just being surrounded by like a bunch of Horseheads Blue Raider fans. It was sweet. I even saw my old coaches again. That was really cool. So, all that, yeah. Seeing football game, going to Nick's later, and like seeing everyone celebrating. I mean, how do you not have fun, man? And what's my act of kindness? I would say my act of kindness. Oh, you know what? I can tell you what my act of kindness was. Because when I got to the game, I actually ran into a very dear friend of mine with her kids, and another friend who really they were there to partly there to watch the game, but also because my friend's friend, who I guess is also my friend, her daughter was one of the cheerleaders of the game. So they came to watch her. So what happened was I was sitting by them for a little bit until my dad showed up. And they wanted to go to concessions, and they asked me to, watch their stuff. As well as watch, their daughters. Which sounds kind of weird, but it sounds kind of weird when I say it that way. But basically to make sure they were safe, no problem. They were only gone for maybe 10 minutes at most. Like, it was fine. So, made sure no one took their stuff. Made sure when they went to get concessions, made sure that, my friend's daughter, who was a cheerleader, well, actually, she'd be safe, but my other friend who didn't have a dog, who wasn't cheering, she was just watching the stands, supporting her friend, like, that was fun. Like, I did that. Yeah, helping out people is fun, isn't it? Just making sure they were safe. So yeah, that was my act of kindness. Now, that was probably the longest time it's taken me to do a low and high act of kindness. Let's get into giving this award, shall we? Now, I was watching the game pretty thoroughly up until the end of the half when I accidentally walked out of the stadium with my dad. Oops. But I have enough information to give you a definitive Blue Hammer award. With that said, there were several other athletes who legitimately deserved this award. Starting with number 26, the person who got the Blue Hammer award last week. Seriously, that kid had a touchdown run. I'm thinking, okay, number 26 is picking up right where he left off. Very cool. I love that. So he had a good game. Numbers 4, 10, and 9, they were also really good too. For sure, they definitely, they were definitely moving the ball very well. Shoot, is number 4 the quarterback or is it number 10? Shoot. Well, whatever number the quarterback was, he was playing a good game. And I love how, he was fairly, listen, it's high school football. You're not going to see what you see like in the NFL. But for high school football, he was very accurate with his passes. There were plenty of people on defense who played really well. The offensive line was doing a great job protecting the QB. They definitely deserve a shout out. But seriously, there's a lot of people who really could get this award. But I gotta give this to one person. I think the player who had the most complete game was number 2. I think from what I saw, he carried the ball the most. He definitely had the most yardage. Just plowing right through people. Like, he was essentially like Barry Sanders in that regard. In terms of doing all he could to just move the ball. It wasn't like doing the acrobat, going all the way to one side of the field and the other side. No, he wasn't doing that. What he was doing though was, just like this guy was a downhill runner. He was pounding that ball down their throats, and he got it. So yes, to number 2 of the Horseheads Blue Raiders, congratulations. This Blue Hammer Award is for you. Congratulations. Obviously, to number 2 and all the other players on the Horseheads Blue Raiders, naturally, I wish you continued success. I would have to do that because I'm an alumni. Of course, I support my Horseheads Blue Raiders. Do you not see the shirt, folks? To the coaching staff, it was great to see you guys last night over at Nick's. It was awesome. Had a lot of fun. It was exciting. Yeah, it was just great. But I hadn't been to Nick's in over a month. I had missed being at Nick's. It was just great being back. And now that I think about it, it's probably going to be another month before I have yet another Friday night here. I mean, here's the thing. My mom wants to close the cottage at Cuba Lake after the weekend of the 28th. I mean, yeah, we have my reunion, but I'll be up at the lake at least for that Sunday. I'm not going to have to get up really early, leave really, really late. The point is, my mom wants to close the cottage that weekend. And I'm not so sure, because I want to try and fight to see if we can be up there that first weekend in October. Partly because, again, I'd rather not have the last weekend up at Cuba Lake be a weekend where I'm only there for a day. But also, listen, I've never done 40 videos of Yakuka Lake in a year. Like, for us, if we were there, if we're at Yakuka Lake on October 5th and October 6th, I can get to 40. I'd like to be able to do that. Especially since last year I wasn't able to be up at Yakuka Lake at all because of a COVID scare. I say COVID scare, meaning we were in danger of getting COVID. None of us got COVID, thank goodness. But again, better safe than sorry, so I had to leave. So here's to hoping we can stay out there for at least one more week. With all that said, to the Horseheads Blue Raiders, congratulations. You definitely earned this win. Great football all around. I've got no other complaints. You know, I can't wait to see what happens next. I mean, listen, chances are next weekend is going to be a tough game because Waverly is always good. In fact, they just won states a couple of years ago. But they are, they're a smaller school, so it's not like it affects Horseheads in any way outside of adding to the win-loss record. So, we'll have to see. But right now, again, I still stand firm. I really think this is the year that Horseheads finally gets over the hump and wins Section 4. At least wins Section 4. I mean, listen, to win states is always a tall ask of any team. But we can worry about that later. For now, I can say Horseheads played incredibly yesterday. Again, to number 2, you earned this Blue Hammer Award. I think you definitely... again, number 9 played great. Number 10 played great. Number 4 played great. The entire offensive line, they were great. The defense was outstanding. Seriously, in 2 games, they've only given up 7 points. That's like that's 3.5 points a game. So, definitely the defense deserves a major, major shout out. I don't know who the defensive coordinator is, but kudos to you, good sir. You're doing it up. But yeah. You see my ring hit the hammer, so that's my finger. That's the ring. I hope you like this video. If you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humble. I made this video for all of you guys watching Joe for name. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Oh, happy Saturday, folks. And remember, if you guys want to talk, channel will be here to let me know you back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby. Go Raiders.